Would you say you learn more at school, doing all your classes and certifications, or actually working on the field? What's up, guys? Thank you guys for coming back to the channel. This is Nick Nakai here. We got Alex and Andrew.
What's up?
There's the tags right there if you guys want to check them out on IG. But I figured today we'll do some kind of different video for you guys, kind of more like a tech interview, because both of these guys are heavily experienced as far as being a flat rate tech in the dealership world. So maybe you guys can learn a thing or two about them. So we're just going to kind of sit down, ask them a couple questions, and you guys get the insight from their perspective or point of view. So let's get started with the introduction. Name, background, how you got into cars. Alex?
I'm Alex. I got into cars because I love taking stuff apart, putting it back together, making it run better.
Me? All right. How's it going? I'm Andrew. How I got into cars is nobody in my family was a mechanic, so we had different trades. You know what I mean? Like my dad's a welder, so pretty much it kind of benefited the family. So I pretty much started watching car shows when I was little. You know what I mean? Messing with little RC cars, stuff like that. Started taking stuff apart, and then pretty much how it started is my dad told me, it was like, hey, you got to learn how to do something. You know what I mean? Because my dad told me, hey, you want to, you know what I mean, go to college. You know what I mean? You know, go to a 4-year college, stuff like that. And I didn't want to do that. So pretty much what my dad told me is like, hey, you better learn a trade. So I thought wrenching was pretty cool, and I see people making good money doing it. So I took that trade. You know what I mean? And that's pretty much what got me into the field, and I like it so far.
All right. So before school experience, what school did you go to and how long?
I actually went the long route, and when I went to UTI, and then from there I went to Toyota, and then that's when I started working right after I graduated.
Would you recommend these newcomers going to UTI, or what would you persuade them?
Honestly, if you don't know anything about a car or anything, your best bet, yeah, I wouldn't, it would benefit you.
Me, I took the other route. I went to community college. You know what I mean? They had a program there. I did it right out of high school, and it worked out. You know what I mean? It's a lot cheaper than going to, like, you know, the high-end school, stuff like that, the UTI.
Yeah.
I don't even know if they have that West Tech. Did you still got that?
Yeah. Ohio Tech.
Ohio Tech.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I forgot about that. Yeah. So there's a lot of routes you can do. You know what I mean? But I did that. It was a lot cheaper. You know what I mean? And you know, I didn't have that much money, you know what I mean? I was only working part-time, stuff like that, and you know what I mean? So financially wise, I went to the community college and it worked out. I still got the same, I think I still got the same, you know what I mean, education, stuff like that, and it got me where I'm at today, so.
All right. Yeah, your first job, where, doing what, and how was it?
First job was at Toyota as a lube tech.
How old were you started?
I started back, I think I was 22, 23.
Oh, you started later, huh?
Yeah,
tech.
I started late.
Were you still going to school at the time, or were you?
No, I just finished graduating. I took 2 weeks off, and then boom, straight into it.
Okay.
So you started early.
Yeah, I started late.
Oh, late.
I started late in the field, but
How was it starting at the bottom of the barrel?
it sucked. It sucked. Oh, it was horrible, you know, because you know how to do so much more things that half the people know how to do, but yet they won't let you do it. So you gotta
Just change oil and rotate.
bite the bullet and bust your butt, make those hours, and hopefully they recognize you.
Yeah. Well, me, I started out of high school. I was in the auto program in my high school, and then I got an internship. So I didn't really start as a lube tech. I started pretty much as an intern. So what happened is I was pretty much getting paid to learn. And I was 17 when I started, so I was still in high school. So when I would get out of high school, pretty much I would go straight to the dealership, you know what I mean? And that was my first job at the Toyota dealer. And pretty much I was paired up to a master tech, and pretty much I was flagging hours for him while he was teaching me. So it was a benefit for both of us. And I think that's what made me so good of a tech so fast. So that's how I pretty much started. And I started, like I said, when I was 17, so I started pretty young.
Fuck. Whoops. So the camera got shut off because the damn air compressor and the battery died and all that. So hopefully we can time this video correctly. But next question would be, how long did it take to move up from the lube rack to being a line technician?
For me, it took about 2.5 years. 2.5 years of being a basic loop tech. No, a year and a half of being a basic loop tech. And I got moved up, tires and alignment, still oil changes. Yeah, 2.5 years.
For me, it took me 4 years. So 17 when I started, and it was 2 years to be an intern, and then 2 years as a loop tech. So by the time I was 21, I was a full-on line tech. So it wasn't too bad.
All right. And then what was it being like when you first got on the line?
I was honestly nervous. Super nervous, trying to prove that I was somebody, you know, honestly trying to remember everything, trying to at least make some hours. So I was super nervous. I was excited, but super nervous.
Me, same thing. You know, yeah, you get nervous, but I was excited because I was on my own, and like I said, when you're a flat rate tech, you know what I mean. You make your own paycheck. So I was in my mind, I had to grind. You know what I mean. But like I said, but also too, I can't really get too ahead of myself because I was so new. You know what I mean. Like I would see all these veteran techs flagging all these hours. You know what I mean. But they also have 20, 30 years under their belt. You know what I mean. So I had that in my mind, but also I had to kind of step it down a notch, you know what I mean? Because that's when you make mistakes. When you're new, you never done job, you know what I mean? New jobs, stuff like that. And that's when you make mistakes, and that can cost you, you know what I mean? Blowing up a car or something, you know what I mean? Or costing the shop money. So that's what you got to watch yourself when you're at first. But like I said, I was really nervous too, but it's just being slow. You're going to be slow at first, you know what I mean? And after that, you're going to get faster and faster once you start doing more repetitive jobs. But at first, it's common, you know what I mean? You're going to be nervous like I was. But then after that, you're gonna start grinding, and you're going to get freaking excited. You're going to see all these hours coming in. You're knocking out all these jobs, learning all this stuff. So it's pretty cool. You're slow start, but it'll pay off. It pays off.
Take your time, do it right the first time, and
Yeah. Better just do it right the first time, then rush it out, bang it out in 10 minutes, and then have it come back, and you're spending an hour trying to fix it and not get paid for it.
Yep. Losing money there.
wasting time.
Happened to everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right, so worst nightmare on the line. You guys heard my story with the F4S. Alex, worst nightmare as a tech.
Got another story for you too. So first, it was one of my big ones. So I had to rebuild the motor on it. It was knocking. All right, never done one before, so figured I'd do it. So I got it out, put it back together, got it running. It was running fine. All right, cool. Let's go take it out for a test drive. Took it out for a test drive. Coming back on the way to the shop, all of a sudden it started smoking. And before I knew it, the car was already on fire at the stoplight. So obviously, you know, try to get out of the car wouldn't open. Windows were already rolled up, so it's just trying not to freak out, trying to get out of the car. And yeah, that was pretty much it. It was toast after that.
Mystery still unknown what happened.
To be continued.
Pretty much to be continued. Me, I've never had a scenario like that before. Like I said, I don't know, I guess I've just had good luck. You know what I mean? I've never had really jobs that are like, that I've messed up bad, you know what I mean? And I just had a big job, you know what I mean? Like, I had to do a frame swap on a FJ Cruiser, you know what I mean? And that was a nightmare. I thought it was gonna be a nightmare, you know what I mean? When I seen this job, I'm like, what? I gotta swap a frame over onto another truck, and the frame was just bare nothing. It had no lines, no electrical, nothing. So I'm like, I've never done nothing like that, you know what I mean? So I looked at it as a nightmare, like, it's gonna take me 2 months to get this done, you know what I mean? But sometimes that happens, you know what I mean? You see a nightmare job, but it's all in your head, you know what I mean?
Yes,
and like I said, yeah, I had to clear my mind, just get to grinding, and I knocked it out in 3 days, thinking I was gonna, you know, take me 2 months, you know what I mean? So a lot of the stuff, you know what I mean, it's in your head, you know what I mean? And you overthink things, and you think it's a nightmare, you know what I mean? So a lot of it, it's in your mind, and you just have to have a clear head, you know what I mean? Outside, when you're at work, just have your mind be at work, you know what I mean? Don't have outside influences, whatever's going on outside of work. That's gonna affect you too, to be productive, you know what I mean?
All right, so to give you guys a little background about these guys, you guys know my experience as far as Toyota, probably like,
8.
no. Oh, you guys know my background about being at Toyota, probably 4 years on the lube rack and like 2.5, almost 3 years as a line tech, and then continuing at BMW and now back at Toyota. Alex, you've been at Toyota as line tech for how long?
For about 7 years.
7 years, okay.
7 years and 1 year at Mitsubishi.
Okay.
Mitsubishi tech, huh?
Heavily seasoned. Andrew?
Me, I started with Toyota, and I was a Toyota technician for 10 years. and I recently left Toyota. So about, say, almost a year ago. And I'm an ASC master too, and I'm currently working on my heavy truck now because I kind of moved to a different side of wrenching. So now I work for Edison as a fleet mechanic. So I'm on the fleet side now instead of the dealership. It's a different side of being a mechanic. It's not bad, you know what I mean? It's just a lot different, you know what I mean? But that's pretty much what I'm working on now. Now I work on pretty much everything from light duty cars, you know what I mean? Like how I was Toyota, to heavy trucks, big trucks, you know what I mean? So I had to get my Class A, and now I have my Class A too, so I could drive all those big trucks, you know what I mean? But now I'm currently working to be, like I said, I'm an ASC auto. Now I'm doing ASC, currently working on being an ASC heavy truck. So I'm gonna be ASC master on both sides. So, and it's possible, you know what I mean? Like I said, I never thought I'd be working on the other side of the fleet side, but I kind of like it. So like I said, some of you guys might not be working at a dealership, you know what I mean? Might be working on the heavy truck side or working on tractors or whatever, you know what I mean? There's airplane mechanics, you know what I mean? They're everywhere, but pretty much at the end of the day, we're all mechanics. Take stuff apart, put it back together, and fix stuff. So that's pretty much where I came from.
All right. Well, this will be a nice little interview with these two guys. You guys can see they're heavily experienced and have a lot more experience than me, so hopefully you guys can learn something, maybe pick up some tips or words of advice from this video. So let's get started. What was your worst nightmare? Oh, just kidding.
Well, dude, what happened was...
Hey, Bill, I'm in the mood for a switch up. I hit the function, hit the rose till I hiccup. I hit the stage and leave with money that's a stick up. She picture perfect, so I told him I'm a flick up.